First Warning MMA Report is joined by Sammy the Bull, Sam Breuer. Sam will be taking on a very game Kyles Vang for the Pure FC Amateur Featherweight title this Saturday night on the Pure FC 15 card in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us tonight, Sam.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it.
So, you come from a high school wrestling background. What are some of your wrestling accomplishments through the years? And did you play any other sports when you were growing up?
Uh, yeah, I wrestled through high school. I started, I think, in like sixth grade or so, but it was never my main goal. I wrestled to get better at football. That's what I liked doing when I was in high school and when I was in middle school and everything. And yeah, once I started wrestling a little bit more, I started to realize that there's more to it than just wrestling, which made me more focused on MMA and everything. So I turned over to Muay Thai around my junior year in high school, and
Mm-hmm.
then I don't know, it was just like wrestling. The one aspect of wrestling, there's so much good about it, but there's so much that changes when you get into the MMA world. So that's why I didn't go out and I didn't get any state records or anything, but I was consistent in wrestling, and it just wasn't my main goal. So yeah, I mean, I wrestled good and everything, but it wasn't my main goal, and now I'm doing something that I'm good at. So
Awesome. Yeah, I know that's a big thing that some people don't realize, just that difference between wrestling and MMA wrestling. And I
yeah.
mean, wrestlers are dominating the sport right now, but they wouldn't necessarily dominate in wrestling. But yeah, so that's good basis for it. What's something that most people would be surprised to learn about you?
Well, I don't know. I make myself pretty clear on like what I'm good at. I mean, I pointed out my fights, I proved myself, but I think outside of the MMA world, I have a full-time job as an iron worker in the local 383.
Okay,
So I'm constantly at work. That's why I couldn't get on here that much. I didn't have too much time because it's straight from work to here, and I'm always hustling. I'm always working. So
that's
it's
awesome.
uh it's almost a good thing because I can support myself and then support my dream of this MMA career. So yeah, that's probably something interesting that people don't know about me outside of like my family and my friends. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, that's something new for me. I didn't know that about you.
yeah.
So, why MMA? What are some of the things that really pushed you to try it? Obviously, we went over the wrestling stuff, but was there anything else? And were there any individuals that helped get you started in it at all? Or
Um, it started out with wrestling specifically like that, as I was like, those guys get in a cage and they fight. I might as well do that. That's like the whole aspect of everything. So I might as well try that, but I never really got out and did it until the Franta brothers from La Crescent. They don't fight, but they just train. They told me I'd be good at it, so I came to Anam's academy in La Crescent. Dries Anam was the coach, and he the moment I got in there, my first class, I was hooked. So I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. And they set me up for my first fight in Savage, Minnesota, for Savage Entertainment, and it was a kickboxing fight, and I won that one. And ever since getting in that cage, it was just like getting on a wrestling mat. It felt right. So I stuck with it, and then I got to Ironworks, and Ironworks was definitely my new home now. So it's the place to be, and I get everything I need there, and it's definitely worth everything I've gone through to get here finally. Yeah, I appreciate this gym quite a bit. So yeah, that's what led me into it, is just it's the steps that I didn't even necessarily know about that just happened. Like taking this fight that I didn't know about and doing that and winning, and then realizing how fun it actually is and how good it feels to not only prepare for it but to win, how good that feels. And yeah, and also my brother, he was a big UFC fight fan, so he watched them all the time, and I go, yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm not just gonna watch it. I'm gonna try that. So that's what I did, and it turned out to be a pretty good idea. So
awesome. Yeah, we're glad to hear you stuck with it because you're definitely fun to watch.
mm,
And you mentioned Ironworks too. I know there's a lot of good guys up there that you get to mess around with all the time. I mean, Garrett Carlson, Elby McKinney, Felipe
yep.
Martinez, uh, Nick Ammerman. I mean, the list
Oh
goes
yeah,
on and on. I mean, so it's a good gym up
deep.
there to be a part of.
Yep, it's a deep group of
Um,
guys.
oh, yeah, absolutely. So you're very talented. You're kind of new to the sport, up and comer. Um, and you're always fun to watch. And you, I think you kind of hinted at this, but is this something you want to take to the pro level at some point?
Yeah, I definitely will. I mean, it's that I'm not in it just as a hobby, and I'm not in it just to see if I can do it and kind of, I don't know, see how good I am. I'm definitely setting my goal as to go pro at some point. I don't have a set time. I don't have a set like record. It's when it feels right, and I don't want to stick around a super long time in the amateur world, but it comes down to different life aspects that guide me. But it's only been 1 year, and I've had what, four MMA fights? Yeah, so four MMA fights in just over a year. So if I keep doing that, it won't be that long until I'm pro. So
Yeah, and you generally take care of yourself. I mean, you don't really come out with a lot of damage usually, so that's good too.
except for that Milwaukee one, that
Yeah,
I've been pretty good with damage wise.
yeah. So obviously, this Saturday night you are fighting a very game Kyles Vang for the featherweight title. And I believe this is your first fight at 145.
Yeah, the last three-river throwdown fight I had was a catchweight for 150, but it was supposed to be for 145. So yeah, this will be the first one at specifically 145. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. What prompted that? What prompted the drop? If it was just the title opportunity, or if you are gonna try and shoot for 145 now, or
It was honestly the title opportunity was there, but I also knew that Felipe Martinez was going to be moving out, so I thought, hey, there's an open belt for my home promotion, Three River Throwdown, and then there's also uh, Pure FC, which Felipe also had that one. So I went, I'll go down a weight because Garrett Carlson is at 155, and he's a big dude for 155, and I'm like, yeah, I might as well just go down and not fight one of my best friends for a belt. So yeah, I honestly, it was just like I can afford to go down to 145. I walk around heavier than that, obviously, but I can make that cut and it doesn't bother me. So,
awesome. That's all. That was the next question I was gonna ask is how the weight cut's going.
oh, so far so good. I mean, I haven't been cutting too much, but I have been tapering down on intake of food, but I've been drinking a lot of water. So it's a process, and the first couple days aren't that bad, but once it gets to Wednesday and Thursday, I probably wouldn't be doing an interview. So, yeah. That's
Well,
not the fun time. We'll
yeah,
see.
I'm glad we caught you now then.
Yeah, definitely.
So training camp's going well then.
Yep. And honestly, I said it in my trash talk interview yesterday, my training camp for this one, and I'm not embarrassed to say it hasn't been the best. And that's just a fighter's world. They don't go through everything isn't perfect for us. And that's honestly what we do every day is nothing's perfect. You literally get punched in the face. Who wants to do that? So this camp hasn't been the greatest, but it's also like you said, Nick Ammerman, I have him to talk to. I talked to him, and he said it's just you go through a camp, and all of it is if it's a bad camp, it's just a mental switch, so you're not focused and everything. But once you get in there, you turn that switch on, and everything's the same. It's a different guy, and this Kyles Vang, he's a good guy. I honestly, no offense to him, I don't know about him. I didn't hear his name before, but I'm not underestimating him whatsoever. But I'm not worried about my fight camp, and my fight camp from September will carry over, and I'm not too worried about what happened in this one. I'll just punch my time card when I get up to the cage, and that's the time to go.
Excellent. Yeah, and you mentioned this before too. You got 4 wins. You have no defeats, and you finished all of them except for one, and that was a split decision victory.
Yep.
And Kyles Vang has finished only one. Well, he's only gone the distance in one fight, and that was a
Yep.
loss. And he's won all
Yep.
of his other ones.
Yep.
So obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that neither one of you guys want this to go to the judges' scorecards, if you can
No.
help it. You both have the ability to change a fight in the blink of an eye. And what do you have to do to impose your will in this fight?
Honestly, it's just read him. I mean, it's the amateur world, and I'm not here to study up on Kyle's, and he can do what he wants to do. But I train with guys that are good at everything, and different guys are better at different things, and I've worked with all of them. So when it comes down to it, I'm just gonna figure out what he likes to do, and then what he doesn't like to do, and what he doesn't like to do, I'll just work on that, and that's all I'll do. So I can beat him standing up. I can beat him on the ground, but at the end of the day, it's all respect. So I'm not gonna say anything that I predict anything against him. And I hope the best for him. And I hope he doesn't get injured, and I hope nobody gets injured on this card. So that's usually what I hope for. I hope I win, but it's in God's hands. That's all it is. I mean, hopefully in the long run nobody gets hurt. That's the main goal, but I want to come out with a belt, and that's what I'm going to do my best to work for. So in the end, I can take it in any world and I can win that way, but I'm not going to say what way.
Actually, yeah, I appreciate your honesty there with that, because my next question was going to be, what's your prediction? But obviously, you see yourself getting your hand raised, and you're probably just kind of seeing how it goes. So
Yep.
I won't ask you for an actual prediction then. I'll save that
It,
for you.
it's been the same for every one of my fights where I'll watch a video on the guy, but it's we're all amateurs and we all learn throughout each fight. Nobody stays the same, so it's a different world every time you get in there. So if I relied on one video of Kyles Vang when I watch him and I think, oh, he does this every single time, and I'm ready for that, and then he does something different, what am I supposed to do? So I get better at myself and I work on my craft, and he's going to work on his, and we'll see who comes out with the belt at the end of the day.
Excellent. Well, do you have any sponsors or teammates, coaches, friends, family you want to thank? The floor is yours.
Yeah, 5-7 Gym, La Crescent, Minnesota. It's in the hockey arena. It's a small hockey gym. It's got like a CrossFit vibe kind of to it, but it's a great place for me to go when I don't want to drive all the way to Homan, and I can just run right down to that gym and work out. And they've sponsored me for my last Three River Throwdown card, and they're awesome people to have, and they were right cage side the whole time, and they were cheering me on, so it felt good. Upstream International was that missionary group I mentioned on everything I do. They're in Haiti, and they're working hard to, I honestly don't know exactly what everything they do, but they do a lot of stuff down there to help the people of Haiti and to just support them as much as they can. Just an outside source coming over and supporting them, and their whole family moved down, the Rogalski family. So I greatly appreciate what they do, and I'm glad to know them. So they're not paying me anything to say that, and there's nothing going on there. I put them on my shorts as a simple remark to just say I have these guys on my shorts because I support them. It's the other way around too.
Awesome.
So yeah, other than that, we have advertising concepts in lacrosse. So they do all the work, all the advertising, all the shirts and everything for Three River Throwdown and Ironworks Fighters. And they're a great group of people, and I sometimes forget to mention them, but they definitely deserve a shout out because they are the best people to work with, and they are so nice. And yeah, I can shoot them a text anytime and they'll do what I want. So teammates I'd shout out for this camp specifically, Garrett Carlson, one of my best friends, and he's been coming in when he can make the time for me, and it's greatly appreciated for him too. Felipe has been making his works in. Albie has been coming in a lot too, but sometimes people can't make it in for somebody else's fight camp, and we're all amateurs, and I understand that. So, but a shout out to the whole Ironworks team, because we're all a group of killers and we're all family at the end of the day. Nobody has a grudge against anybody, and we're all fighting for each other. So it's a great world to be in. But other than that, that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, I know that first warning, we're really excited for this fight, and I think this fight kind of quietly has fight of the night potential, and I think a lot of people don't really see that, or they're kind of overlooking it. And I think this fight's going to surprise a lot of people. I think it's going to be a really good one. We really look forward every time that you step in the cage. We really look forward to seeing you fight. So thank you so much for taking the time tonight, and best of luck to you on your title fight on Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It was a great opportunity. I like this a lot, so
Awesome.
I appreciate it. It was
Yeah,
fun.
no problem. Anytime, man.
Definitely.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, you too. See you later.
All right.